In today's stream, they did announce Ability 11. No, not Ability 11. Not Ability 11. Not skips. Nothing. They announced Level 11 for combats. So these are some of the 11s that they sort of showed in the stream. And you can see there that glitch. So glitch shoots from range, no different, 2 times more damage, but it's 55% chance of a critical strike. And then when we compare that to in the game, you've got glitch there, but it's a 43% chance of a critical strike. Everything else is still the same. Then we've got shield drum, which is 32.5% of all damage protection. And when we look in the game, it's 25% protection. Then you place a decoy that has 32% of your health, but at 11 it's 41% of your health. Everything else stays the same. Another example is wrong. So you heal your target 54% of the bot's value and you shield for 41%. And in the game, that is an increase from 42% healing and 32% damage. Now, looking at some of these 11s, they actually look pretty good. But some of them don't. Some of the ones that were really worthwhile from first impressions of these was Nightstick was a really good change where it increased the healing and the damage. Flak was another one because it increased to about 45% of the bot's DPS value. So it was a constant increase in DPS. And obviously Wrongs increased the healing and the shielding as well. Some of them were not as good. So a lot of defensive combats, like Big Daddy, weren't available to be upgraded. But some of the ones that were available, like Zor. So the problem I had with Zor was when I first witnessed this was that his health increased and his DPS. The orbital strike though, it deals 4% of his DPS. So yeah, the orbital strike will increase. That's all right. What was the other one? Trip Up. So when I looked at Trip Up, it increases health and damage, but didn't increase his attack speed up. So I was quite disappointed by that. And what I found was a lot of the minion combats had this, where it increased their health and DPS, but didn't increase any other part of the combat. Taraxodon just increased the healing, which wasn't very good. And so I still think there's a massive divide on some of these B.B.E items that haven't been in testing. You know, they've not been in testing. And in testing, I'm sure a lot of feedback would be that some of these are great. A lot of the gunner combats were absolutely amazing. The healing combats, things like that. But for glitch to just get a 55% chance of critical strike, the constant damage he's doing is not increased really that much. So it's not a massive increase. For 1 million spark, you're not getting that much. Whereas Nightstick, because it was constant, because it was more healing and damage, it's a constant increase. And so Nightstick could have probably done with a least of an increase and just giving him a bit more healing or something, or a bit more damage just doing one, whereas Glitch should have probably done both. You know, and again, it comes down to balance. They're just making some of the top content in the game really, really, really good, and some of the average content still average. And that's a big problem for these B.B.E items. That's not just the problem though. The problem with the B.B.E items is the rarity as well. Is that they're saying that they're putting them in leaderboard event. We don't want leaderboard events. We talked about leaderboard events previously in other videos. We don't want them. We don't want leaderboard events, but they're making them really hard to achieve. And I sort of said that they put them in good events. It would just encourage people to do events more. But you've got to make them worthwhile. You've got to test them, and we sit here constantly and talk about this and say that, you know, give us a reason to play these events, you know, and just I've ran out of excuses for them. That they just don't listen. They just don't listen. Is that they create something new and go, oh, people will want this. They make it so unachievable for the 9% of players. I understand that they're trying to make money to keep the game alive, but you understand that you make money by keeping players playing the game. You don't need to create a new event where the ceiling is through the roof. You're more than willing to put the roof massive up there with events, but you're not willing to raise the ceiling of content. And that's the problem. Is that people will spend if the content is good and available. You put these in endurance events, and more people will do endurance events. I might even do endurance events. But they're doing too many big events now. And people have said it's kind of a cash grab. It looks like they're desperate for money. And they're trying everything to try and get more money in. And I kind of agree. I don't like saying that. But I do kind of agree. These should be easily achievable. They should be. They're not easily achievable. No, that's the wrong word. They should be achievable to the massive players who want to. But by putting it as a top 5 leaderboard, people are going to miss out on that and get a bit disgruntled. You put it at 70k event and go, listen, if you complete the 70 event, whatever rewards you're getting, but now you're going to get a B.B.E item as well, people will probably compete in that event for that. So, I think they've got about it the wrong way. I think it's not balanced right. We talk about content coming out and not being balanced. We're here yet again. We come out and we say they don't listen to playtesters, things don't go in playtests, it's a mistake. No doubt this will probably go in a store or something and be available to buy or something. I'm not too sure. But there are other ways they could have done this very easily than the way they've done it. So let me know in the comments what you guys think of this new B.B.E system, these B.B.E tokens. We'd be interested in running events. What would you say would be the point event where you think that these should be? If people are going to say 20k, 30k in the chat, it's not going to work. That's not going to happen. It needs to create a demand and make people spend. So I would say there's going to be 40k upwards, maybe 50k upwards. But should they put them in endurance events? Should there be a new chance event for them? Maybe. Should they put them in these like 1% things that people are doing? Does that work? Did that encourage you to buy bundles? That 1% chance of getting 1,000 5-star shards? Did that work for you? Did you buy anything for that? Let me know in the comments, guys, and hopefully we can try and clear this up a bit and get some more information out of them before they shut for the week.